On April 12, 1961, a Soviet spacecraft carrying a dog named Laika into orbit around the Earth. For the next few days, telemetry from the satellite told of an animal in distress, a desperate animal, an animal that was dying. The mission, dubbed Sputnik by the Soviets, was not supposed to bring the dog back alive. It was purely a propaganda stunt to demonstrate the superiority of the Soviet Union over the capitalist, decadent West. On May 5, 1961, President John F. Kennedy addressed a joint session of Congress and outlined his goal to land a human on the moon and return him safely to Earth before the end of the decade. This was not just a feel-good speech. This was the beginning of America's project to catch up and surpass the Soviet Union in space. We know this project as the space race. But who really won it? To answer that question, we must first clarify what exactly constitutes winning a space race. If we go strictly by the numbers, then the Soviets won most of the early battles. They successfully orbited the first satellite, the first animal, the first human, and they launched the first missiles to impact the moon. However, as the race progressed, American grit and determination paid off. NASA's Project Apollo successfully landed the first humans on the moon in 1969. And since then, only one nation has sent humans to the moon. That's right, we haven't been back since 1972. And when you think about it, if the Soviets were so far ahead of us at the start of the space race and yet we managed to catch up and overtake them, that suggests that maybe we were the ones who really won. But there's another way of looking at it. China is currently building a space station. They are planning to send humans to the moon and Mars, and they have stated their intention to build a base on the moon. In other words, China is doing all the things that America and the Soviet Union did during the space race and then some. So if China ends up being the first nation to establish a permanent human presence on the moon, then they would be the winners of the space race. But what if we ignore the geopolitical aspects of this competition and instead focus on the scientific advancements that came out of it? During the space race, both America and the Soviet Union accomplished incredible feats of engineering. The rockets and materials used to launch these vehicles had to withstand incredible forces. Both sides raced to develop better and bigger rockets. As each new rocket stage was developed, it pushed the boundaries of physics and engineering. Today, SpaceX can launch 60 tons into orbit on a reusable rocket. 50 years ago, NASA could barely launch 30 kilograms into orbit. By focusing on the practical applications of space travel rather than the geopolitical aspects, the space race actually ended up benefiting the world as a whole. The development of materials, instruments and techniques that came out of the space race have found their way into everything from cell phones to bicycle helmets. Even Teflon, the non-stick coating on your frying pans, was developed as a result of research into space materials. So what can we learn from the space race? Sometimes the victors aren't as clear as you might think. Just because the US put men on the moon doesn't necessarily mean they won. But the race wasn't just about reaching the moon. It was also about improving life on Earth through the development of new technologies. And in that regard, we'd say that everyone won. Do you agree with our assessment? Let us know in the comments below. And while you're there, don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. In the future, we will continue to explore the vast universe around us. And if there's anything that could use some explaining, we'll be here for you. So hit that subscribe button and join us as we learn what the universe is really made of. And now you know, if you're interested in learning more about the space race, check out the series on the Cold War in the description below. Also, big thanks to our supporters who made this video possible, and a special shout out to those of you who watched our previous video. We couldn't have done any of this without you, so thank you.